Yeah, hello guys. Today we are visiting a farm at Ijoko. Ijoko is this is in Lagos State, so that is where we are. Is around Ijoko Toyin in Ishaga area in Lagos State, just the axis of Ishaga in Lagos State. I think this still fall between Ishaga and before between Ishaga and Ijoko. Yeah, right? Yeah. So this is where we are today, and we are here for making consulting for the farm, seeing what is wrong with the farm. Basically, the farm is having what I can call a hatchery problem. They have been ashing and is not forthcoming. I was consulted for that, and visiting the farm today, I think the first thing I did is just to check some of the parameters of the water, and checking the parameters of the waters. I think I will need to check basically for the potential hydrogen of the water, and I will need to check for the CO2 of the water, that is based on the pH and the level, the water CO2, and I will be checking for the total hardiness of the water, and again I will be checking for the quality of the water, the purity of the water, that means the turbidity of the water, which means how many loads of materials are in the water that are affecting the water. And again, I'm going to check for the water electronics conductivity. We'll likely be checking for the water temperature and the water nitrite. And so that is what I'll be doing today. That means coming here is to check for all these and to advise the farm basically. And the good thing about most of our farm visitation is that after we might have gone around and studies our own major challenges in the farm, is for us to advise the farm owner on what to do, and by God's grace, any of the advice that we give to the farm owner, always give a positive result. So that is what we are here to do. So I think after the parameters, we will be going around the farm and I'll be giving my advice, and later in the day, I think the success will definitely comes in. But as I'm doing the checking, the first thing I will notice is that the number one, the pH of the water is a little bit low. It's not that low, and the first thing I need presently to check for is that I would like to check for the direct borehole water. If you are using well, you check for the direct borehole water. So that is what I'm here to do. So we need to put on the solar in order to get the direct light from the source. That is what I'm checking. But I'm doing a combo checking, which is I'm checking the pH of the water, I'm checking the hardiness, I'm checking the nitrite at the same time, and I'm checking the CO2 at the same time. So what I'm doing is that I try to have a two basin so that I'm putting all into that so that it can be faster to see what I can advise. But I normally tell you this: by the time you come to me or you come to any expert in fish farming, by asking what can be some of the challenges, problem you may be having in your farm, maybe you'll be hatching, and maybe after 1 week of hatchery the fishes start dying. But that is what you're having here, is particularly after the amount have hatched, the third day all the fishes will die. And what I notice in this is that if such a thing is happening, sometimes we don't take proper recognition of our water hardiness. What we do is that immediately we checked for the water pH, and maybe we have a lower pH, or we have our pH is okay, because I've seen a lot of farms that normally complain that their water pH is okay, but after they hatched, the third day the fishes start dying. So there are a lot of complaints like that. But my advice will come inside this video as we progress. So we are checking for the water temperature. I told you again, what is the temperature of the water at that recent time. Temperature normally matters 100% fish hatchery too as well, because number one is temperature that determine the incubating period of your fish. And sometimes once the incubating period is so delayed, this will stress the newly fryers. And once the newly fryer gets stressed, because at this particular time they're absolutely fragile, they're 100% fragile, and this will come back to step dropping. And notice, whenever they are stressed, their death rate become highly increased. So I have tested a lot of waters, that means directly from the borehole. I will have to go into the incubator, into the hatchery himself, to get some water from the hatchery. We need to check directly from the borehole, we need to check from the reservoir. And if we want to check from the reservoir, the water from the reservoir has to be there for at least for 24 hours. So after checking both is when I personally, as a consultant, will advise. So if I don't check that to my understanding, I will never give you a proper advice. So getting inside to get some water from the incubator, I need to cross-check on all other parameters the same way I did to the direct borehole water. I need to do it to this as well. So watching from the background is a concrete setting. This is another setting in fish farming for those of us who are joining new. Concrete is I would say is an old model of ponding system that have been existing for a very, very long time. I think we just add tarpaulin of recent, and for those of us who are using plastic, to me is of recent. But concrete pond and netting pond has been an old modern farming that is very, very reliable for a surface ponding system. But it is one of the most expensive, I'd like to say the most expensive ponding system you can ever think of. Basically, it depends. I don't really like using concrete pond because sometimes most of the water in the concrete pond, by the time you are doing the lining, these fluctuate and change the water drastically. And once the water gets changed, it affects your fishes too as well. But it's very good sometimes because it stabilized your pH and other parameters in your water. But going through most of my exercise, what I notice is that the pH is a little bit low, but the water hardiness is extremely low. The hardiness is low, the conductivity of the water is low. I have tested for the bowl, and we have tested from the storage. So those are the problems, and now it's time for us to prepare a solution, a concrete solution to that. So based on that, I will advise the owner to use some parameters. And what are the parameters the owner will use? So I basically advise, there's some parameters that buffer. You have a pH of like 6.5 and you have an hardiness like 50. There's a certain parameters that by the time you put this, will cushion your pH a little and will speed the up hardiness to like 150 to 100 to like 200, which is highly hygiene and advisable to use. So if you need any of our mentorship program, make sure that you contact the number on the screen, and make sure that you always subscribe to our channel. Make sure that you follow and share it. I normally say this: we have a lot of materials for upcoming catfish farmers that you can get, and this is an idea-based fish farm training channel. We have a lot of ebooks available that you can read. This can make you a professional, a self-professional. We have a lot of materials we sell on water correcting materials we sell. We have a lot of the materials, and we have a lot of kits we sell too as well. And I said we do online mentorship. Sometimes if you're having challenges in your farm and you need a mentor like us, sometimes you don't really need to be in your farm. You can have an online video call and your farm will be waxing stronger the way you wanted it. This is just an idea. It's just a professional with good like mind bringing heads together to make success. So that is where how and where we are there to do. So from this time, I'll be saying bye bye for now. My name once again still remain Ototola Isabi on DTM. Your great uncle on this channel. Thank you and God bless you all.